Welcome to Road of Plenty. I am Thomas. We are now on the way to the ferry from Nynäshamn, just south of Stockholm, to Gdansk in north of Poland. So we've never taken this ferry before when we have gone down to continental Europe. So it's going to be interesting. It's quite a long ferry. It's 18 hours, and then we'll go down through Poland, Czech Republic, and then down to Austria, northern Italy and the Dolomites, and then we will go to Switzerland. And after we've been in Switzerland for 2 or 3 nights, we will return to Stockholm. So we've got 12 days all together. So let's see how it turns out. We're very excited to do this first trip outside of the Nordic countries with this car, or actually outside of Sweden with this car since we bought it. So it's gonna be good fun, we hope. Wawel, registered in Nassau. Let's see where we're going. Fan, det är för något jävla.
Sväng höger på Skyttens hälsväg.
Wawel was built 1980 in Sweden. We were pleasantly surprised by the crossing. You know, we had a nice cabin and no bad smells as there usually are on old ships. The interior was really interesting, with very different layout from what I'm used to from the ferries here in between Finland and Sweden. So it was a really nice experience actually, this trip. We arrived in Gdansk some 4 hours ago, and we are now on the way. I have switched to Waze from via Michelin. We basically found out that we would arrive a little bit too late for our liking at our hotel tonight. So, or I don't know, hotel or guest house or whatever. So I went to Waze. I really like to drive on smaller roads like this. It's really nice to get away from the motorways, because the motorways are really boring. But sometimes, you know, to save time, you really want to just get going. Anyway, so we were driving now, but then I realized that we were gonna go on the A2. A2 is a motorway that, for what I understand, you cannot pay by the road. You need to have some kind of you have to register your card on the like an electronically, you know. So I don't know what I understand. I don't know if you go in there, if you cannot get out, if you get onto a motorway like that without having registered your car, or if never mind. I had to reprogram the route to here in Waze to get through some. You know, to some other place, just to avoid this A2. Anyway, I have 8 minutes left until I get to that point, and after that we will continue to our final destination, which is in the middle of nowhere. Another thing that can be said about driving here in Poland, the motorways are really good. When you get off the beaten track here, so it seems to be a little bit of, the road surface might not be the best, but it's good enough. Since we left Stockholm, we left in the morning, maybe it was 15 degrees yesterday, or if it was even 15 degrees, I don't know. Anyway, now it's 23, so the tire pressure was set at 15. So now, obviously, when the temperature has gone up, the tires have gone a little bit maybe too stiff. So we'll have to adjust that tomorrow or something. I mean, it's no problem. It's good for the fuel economy, but it doesn't really give a comfortable ride. When it comes to road tolls, I prepared. I went to I went through every country that we are planning to visit, and I wrote on a list, what are the requirements for different countries. So, for example, in Czech Republic, it was very good. We're going to go to Czech Republic tomorrow. In Czech Republic, it was perfect because you could register your car, you could pay 1 week, 1 month, or 1 year, like a toll for all the motorways. And it was so simple to do it online. I don't remember what it was, if it was Switzerland or if it was Austria. there you could do it, but then you needed 18 to do it 18 days in advance to be in line with so that they could so that you had your 14 days cancellation. I don't know, it seemed really ridiculous, like really too much following the, I don't know, principles of anyway, I'm lost for words. Now this is one thing that I'm not really, and this is not only Poland, this is every country in Europe except for the Nordic countries where I've driven, is that you never really know what the speed is. You get into a city, it's 40 kilometers an hour, for example. There's a sign, 40 kilometers an hour, very good. And then all of a sudden you exit the city, and then you know, maybe there's a sign with the town crossed over, so then you're supposed to know what the speed is outside of city limits or city outside of urban areas. Okay, so that's easier, you can find out. But in some countries it seems kind of different. I don't have a clue what it is, so it's always this guessing game. Same things on the motorways. On some motorways it's 140 kilometers an hour. On some motorways it is not the case. Whoops. Will we get under? Yeah. In some places 120, and the only way we were guessing is by using the navigation. So okay, the navigation is usually correct, but not always, which we found out when we were in Germany last time. Yeah. So that's always, it's kind of a guessing game what the speed limit really is. You get into these really nice places that you'd never get into if you did not. Fan ska vi in här nu då? Okay. It's a nice little church. But of course these detours take a long time. So if you really want to go, I don't know if there is, if maybe I don't have many viewers, but if any one of you know of an application, a navigator that is actually giving you kind of a discovery routes without having to go into all these small city centers, which it's really nice to do. But it's nice to do it if they're just along the way. But if you have to take long detours just to get to where you want, it's not really ideal. Now I'm going here for another 800 meters. Nice house, by the way. This is really nice. I mean, the thing is, when you just go on the motorways, you don't see how people live. You don't see how. So that's the really nice thing of going on a road trip in general, because you see much more of the city. If you take the airplane, you land in the capital or whatever, and then you don't see anything of the. I mean, I don't know if I see the culture, but I mean the culture of living or whatever. You get the sense of what's going on. How people are living. This guy. He's coming here on the electric sparkcykel. Well, good. Day 2 or 3, I don't know how to put it, of our road trip. So we have the first stay here in Poland. Okay, so now we're on the way to Czech Republic. We have a hotel booked in Cesky, Krumlov. So Just we have a few, maybe 1 or 2 hours more before we leave Poland. So I'm using Waze, as I said, with avoid motorways, which seems to be working really fine. We get to be driving on these pretty nice, in the middle of nowhere or in the countryside. Really nice roads in Poland. Well, when you get on the smaller roads like this, the road quality is quite poor. But hey, I'm a guest here. I didn't pay for the road, so I don't have any reason to complain. However, for this particular car, this is really when you can hear. I don't know if you can hear it, but this is really when this rattling of the interior comes to show, because all these. I don't know how much stiffer this car is than the regular Stelvio, but I guess they are more or less the same, because this one has got the adaptive dampers. So anyway, a little bit of a firm ride, but we really enjoy it here. It's a beautiful, beautiful day, and I have about 160 zlotys left in cash, which is about 30 euros. Before we leave Poland, I'm going to use that one to fill up the car, because what I checked, the fuel prices in Poland, they are the lowest in not in entire Europe, I think, but among the countries where we are driving on this road trip. This is by far the cheapest fuel prices. So we're going to try to fill up as much as we can before we cross the border. A very long time ago I studied Polish, and as a second subject to my main subject, which was Czech, but I haven't been in Poland except for a few times with a ship where I've only been there, in port. But I haven't been to Poland for over, I think it's more than 20. Let me think. Yeah, more than 20 years. So. I can see that a lot of things have happened here. The standard seems to be a lot higher than it was then. Not that it was really low then, but it was. I mean, as a country of the former East European bloc, they had some catching up to do. But you can really see that most of the houses are now, in a good shape. New houses, renovated houses. So it's really okay. The windshield is very dirty from flies that we have crushed, but now we only have about 15 minutes left of today's journey from south of Poland to, basically south of Czech Republic, Cesky, Krumlov. I actually don't know if I've been there or not. If I have been there, it was 25 years ago. So in general, roads have been better here in Czech Republic. To avoid motorways in Waze has been perfect. We've gone on very nice, through very nice places like this, off the beaten track, and without being stuck in small towns or so on. So it's been really nice. We stopped once to have lunch. Roads here are generally a little bit better. Like these smaller roads are a little bit better in the Czech Republic than they were in Poland. Speeds are quite high here. I mean, in Poland, if the speeds were really high in Poland, I mean the speed limits. The speed limits are quite high here. So sometimes it's difficult to even go as fast as the speed limit is. Also, here in the Czech Republic, I have seen quite dramatic overtakes, which I haven't seen maybe overtakes like that for 30 years in Sweden. So I don't know. I thought the Poles were worse than in the Czech Republic, but I think I'm wrong. If there's anything me and my wife actually would like to complain about is both here in the, I mean, we're used to in the Nordic countries that even if there's no gas station or anything, that you know that there are like resting places along the road, not only on motorways but also on roads like this, you know, places where there's a nice view or something. There would be like a parking, you could stop, maybe there's a toilet, not always a toilet, but that is something we haven't really seen anything of here, neither here in the Czech Republic nor in Poland. So that's a bit of a shame, because sometimes it's nice when you're out on a run like this just to stretch your legs and also to get a view of nature. You know, there must be some places that are nice to stop at, but anyway, in general it's been a very nice day of driving. I think it is going to be about 6 hours in total of driving today, so not too far or not too long. We finally came to Cesky Krumlov after about 6 hours drive, and I have to say that we stayed at a very a really nice and cozy hotel. It's a very small room, but very nice room called Viltalska Pohádka, and it was just by the you know, river flowing through Cesky Krumlov. The street to get there was so narrow that we actually made one attempt first. I turned around on a small parking lot and went back out, and I called the hotel, you know, the receptionist, and asked where can we park the car, and she said, oh, you can get in there. There's the van each day going here, and it's like a Volkswagen Amarok. You should be able to get there you too if your car is not too big. So I said, okay, I'll give it a try, and it was really not. We're talking centimeters here, or centimeter here, but we managed to get through. This is when we are actually leaving the next day, and then still my wife was out guiding me, but then I knew that we were going to get through. So you don't really want to get stuck on the street like this. It would be terrible, actually. Anyway, we had a nice evening. We ate at the restaurant by the river. I had an excellent svíčka, which is a Czech traditional food. My wife had not so good carp, which is like a national fish of the Czech Republic. It was not good at all. Well, there's not much more to say about the Czech Republic. We're getting closer to the border with Austria. Filma där då. So just to show you where we went in this video today. As I said, this is just the start of our road trip. There might be 1 or 2 more episodes of our Euro trip, which we took in May this year, 2022. Now we started in Nynäshamn, or we started at home, but we live just north of Stockholm, and Nynäshamn is just south of Stockholm. We didn't take the road, which you can see here. We took the ferry from Nynäshamn down over the Baltic, through the Baltic, down to Gdansk, which is here, and then we started actually with this application via Michelin, discovery route, and then when after we came maybe around here, we realized we're gonna be too late at our hotel, so then we switched to Waze. Anyway, so we continued down to this place here where we have the D, and we stopped at a place called Młyny Wielisław, which was really nice. We came there at about 8 o'clock in the evening, so they had actually already closed the restaurant. It was a little bit off season or before the season, so but they still offered to cook something for us, and it was really nice. It was really nice food, actually, traditional Polish food. I can really recommend this place anyway. It was located close to a place called Świeżawa, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe I even put that point in here. Yeah, Świeżawa, and it was just around the corner from Świeżawa, so Wielisław. Okay, and then we continued. Next day we continued south towards the border to the Czech Republic. So border is down here, and then we continued all the way down to Cesky Krumlov, which is just south of Česká Budějovice, where they make the Budvar beer. Yeah, Cesky Krumlov. It was a really nice place. I think I've been there once before, a long time ago, but I'm not sure. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and hope to post the next episode in the very near future.